What if I told you the happiest moments of your life are not when you're relaxing, not when you're scrolling your phone, not even when everything is easy, but when you are completely lost in something difficult? Think about that for a second. Not distracted, not entertained, but absorbed. There's a strange state we've all tasted. Maybe while playing a game as a kid, solving a problem, writing something late at night, or even working on something so deeply that hours passed like minutes. You forgot hunger, you forgot time, you forgot yourself. That state is what Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called flow, but here's the truth no one tells you. Flow is not an accident, it's a skill, a design, a way of living, and once you understand it, your entire life changes. Imagine a man sitting in a small room. No music, no phone, no distractions, just a blank page and a pen. At first his mind resists, it throws thoughts at him. This is boring. Check your phone. You're tired. But he stays. Slowly something shifts. The outside world fades. The pen starts moving. Ideas begin connecting. His breathing slows, his focus sharpens. And suddenly, he's not trying anymore. He's inside the work. That's flow. And here's where it gets interesting. We think happiness comes from comfort, from easy pleasure, from doing less. But real happiness, the kind that feels deep, meaningful, and lasting, comes from something else entirely. It comes from stretching yourself to the edge of your abilities and staying there long enough to grow. Let me ask you something. Why do games feel so addictive? Why can someone play for hours without getting tired, but can't study for even 20 minutes? It's not because games are magical, it's because games are perfectly designed for flow. They give you a clear goal. They match challenge with your skill. They give immediate feedback. They push you just enough, not too easy, not too hard. And your brain loves that zone. But real life? Most people never design it that way. They live in two extremes. Either things are too easy, and they feel bored. Or things are too hard, and they feel anxious. And they keep swinging between boredom and stress, never realizing there's a third space in between. A narrow, powerful space where everything clicks. Picture a tightrope walker. If the rope is too low, there's no excitement. If it's too high, there's fear. But at the right height, with the right tension, every step demands focus. Every movement matters. That's flow. And your life right now is either too low or too high. That's why you feel stuck sometimes. Not because you lack motivation, but because your life is not calibrated for flow. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Flow doesn't come when you feel like it. It comes when you commit. You don't wait for inspiration. You create the conditions, and then you show up. At first, it feels like friction, like pushing a heavy door. But once it opens, something pulls you in. And that's when time disappears. Let's talk about time. Have you noticed something strange? When you're bored, time moves slowly. When you're stressed, time feels heavy. But when you're deeply engaged, time vanishes. Hours feel like minutes. Why? Because your attention is fully invested. Your mind is no longer divided. And that's the secret most people miss. Happiness is not about what you do. It's about how deeply you do it. There's a story of a factory worker. Same machine, same routine, same environment. Most people in that job feel trapped, but this man turned it into a game. He started tracking how efficiently he could operate the machine. He challenged himself to beat his own records. He created patterns. He improved tiny details. To others, it was repetitive work. To him, it became a playground, and something incredible happened. He started experiencing flow, not because his job changed, but because his approach changed. That's the real lesson. Flow is not found. It is built. Now think about your own life. How often do you sit with distractions everywhere? Phone buzzing, tabs open, mind scattered. You're doing something, but not really there. And that's why you feel tired. Because shallow work drains you, but deep engagement energizes you. It's almost paradoxical. The more you focus, the more energy you gain, the more you distract yourself, the more exhausted you feel. Let's go deeper. Why does flow feel so powerful? Because in that state, your sense of self disappears. All your worries, fears, insecurities, they fade. There's no, am I good enough? No, what will people think? No past? No future, just action. Just presence. And that's incredibly freeing, because most of our suffering comes from thinking about ourselves too much. Flow takes you out of that. It gives you a break from your own mind. But here's where most people go wrong. They chase comfort instead. Endless scrolling, easy entertainment, passive consumption. It feels good, but only for a moment. Then comes emptiness. Because your brain is not built for constant comfort. It's built for challenge, for growth, for engagement. Imagine a life where every day has moments of flow, where your work doesn't feel like a burden, but a challenge you're excited to face, where your skills keep growing, and your confidence grows with them. That life is not reserved for special people. It's available to anyone willing to design it. So how do you enter flow more often? It starts with clarity. You need a clear goal, not something vague like, I want to do better, but something specific. Today, I will complete this. I will solve this problem. I will improve this skill. Clarity gives your mind direction. Then comes challenge. If it's too easy, you'll drift. If it's too hard, you'll quit. You need that sweet spot, just slightly beyond your current ability. That's where growth happens. Then comes focus. You eliminate distractions, not reduce, not manage. Eliminate. Because flow demands your full attention. Half focus equals no flow. And then, you stay, even when it feels uncomfortable. Especially then, because the discomfort is the doorway. Here's something powerful to understand. Flow is not just about productivity, it's about meaning. Because when you're fully engaged, you feel alive, not entertained, not distracted, alive. Think about the moments you're most proud of. They're not the easy ones. They're the moments you pushed yourself. When you overcame difficulty, when you were completely immersed in something that mattered. That's flow leaving its mark on your life. Now let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you felt that? Not distracted, not relaxed, but deeply, intensely focused. If it's been a while, that's not a coincidence. It's a signal. Your life might be missing flow. And here's the danger. A life without flow slowly becomes a life of emptiness. Even if everything looks fine from outside, because without challenge, there is no growth. Without growth, there is no fulfillment. But the moment you start seeking flow, everything changes. Your work becomes meaningful, your time becomes valuable, your mind becomes sharper, and your life becomes something you actually want to live. Let's bring this home. You wake up tomorrow, you have two choices. You can drift through the day, checking your phone, doing things half-heartedly, waiting for motivation. Or you can choose one thing, just one, and give it your full attention. Set a clear goal. Make it slightly challenging. Remove distractions. And dive in. At first, it will feel hard, then something will click, and suddenly, you're not forcing yourself anymore, you're flowing. And once you taste that again, you'll realize something powerful. The life you've been searching for was never about doing more. It was about being fully present in what you do. Because in the end, the richest moments of life are not when you escape reality, but when you're so deeply involved in it that you forget everything else exists. So don't chase comfort. Don't chase easy happiness. Chase that state where your mind is sharp, your focus is deep, and time disappears. Because that's not just productivity. That's not just performance. That's what it truly feels like to be alive. to